First things first, little game. In your own assessment, your biggest strength as a rider and your biggest weakness. And this is in completely your opinion, so not Lars's opinion, not Dazzy's opinion, you.
I think biggest strength would be, I feel like mental would be a good one. My mental, I feel like it's a very good strength. And then my weakness, I would say flat turns.
Well, luckily you don't have many of those.
Yes, thankfully.
It's funny you mentioned mentality, because another thing that I wanted to ask you is, like, you do that presentation and stuff, and you're very confident up there. Every time we see you in a paddock, in a stadium, at the track, you kind of like ooze confidence. And I was going to say, is that the real you? When you're away from the camera, out of the spotlight, do you have moments where you doubt yourself, or are you just generally pretty self-assured?
I'm pretty, like, I've always been a confident kid as I was younger. Kind of nothing really bothered me too much, really. I mean, I always just kind of floated around as being myself, really, and I think that's like kind of my part of my personality is that confident personality. So it's yeah, off the camera it's the same thing. I just am a very confident person. Whatever I do, like, I don't care too much about being judged. Nothing really, like I said, nothing really bothers me too much kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's just natural for me, and yeah, very rarely ever doubt myself on most things.
Can you even remember the last time you had a bit of a wobble?
I don't even know if it was a bit of a doubt. I think it was just more of I would say SMX was like the last round at LA during practice, kind of like, well, I wasn't feeling comfortable. Like, well, I was more of like, oh, it's going to be a tough night. Like, ain't going to be an easy one, but it wasn't much of like doubting, like, oh, I'm going to not do good. It was kind of like, well, it's still possible, but it's just kind of going to be a little more struggle than normal.
You're so comfortable mentally then that even when things aren't going well, you can just accept it. You don't stress about it. You just are like, whatever will be, will be.
Exactly. I mean, whatever it is, me being upset about it ain't going to change it, really. So, I mean, you just kind of roll with the punches.
Do you feel like that's a Lawrence family thing? Like, do you see that in Hunter, or do you feel like Hunter's quite different to you in that respect?
I would say so. I would say he's the same. I think it's like a Lawrence thing, just to kind of roll with the punches. No matter what happens, you kind of keep on going.
Speaking of Hunter, in Paris, he said that one of the things he's most looking forward to is you two kind of teaming up on 450s and elevating the bike, similar to how you both did it in 250s.
Yes.
Do you actually think that helps, having two teammates who are such a team, I guess? Did you think that actually makes a significant difference to a program?
I think it helps a lot, because on test days we cover a lot more ground, because I go one way with testing and Hunter goes the other way. So, all right, my way's not working with whatever direction we went. All right, scrap that. Let's go. Okay, Hunter's side's working. We'll try that. Then we split off from there. Whatever that part worked, and we go to a different part. So it makes testing go, instead of being solo on doing it individually, it'd take almost a few weeks to get a lot more days where we get it done in a week, half a week.
Your relationship with Hunter, obviously Paris was the first time you really battled that intensely. I asked Hunter this in Paris as well. Where's the line for you two? Do you feel like you two can do anything and you'll laugh about it afterwards? Or do you feel like there is going to be a point maybe where you won't be able to take it so lightly?
I think as long as it's like an accident. I mean, like the takeout that we had, it wasn't on purpose. I did the same thing to Kenny. Like a few laps before, I doubled out and I'd go to scare him where it balks him, but it doesn't take him down. And just went to go do the same thing, but this mistake on my behalf of not fully cleaning, getting over that last single and just kind of nose riding into him. And it was like, well, Hunter, you're going to be my barrier now. You're the one that stopped me. So that stuff, like, that's like kind of I get a bit of shit about it, but it's not like it's I get like in trouble for it. It's just kind of a bit of a, why couldn't it happen to someone else, not Hunter? So, but I think there is a line of just kind of, if it is on purpose and that stuff, then it's just like you're an idiot, because then you're taking money out of your own brother's pocket.
You must have moments away from racing, away from the practice track, where you two like butt heads. Every family has it.
We always do. There's always some things where we get annoyed, and it's especially like when we hang out. Like, I mean, with you guys, you have brothers, right?
Yeah.
when you hang out, like if you don't spend a lot of time with your brother and you meet up again, you guys are pretty okay because you haven't seen each other. But when you spend a good, like seeing each other every single day and going to the same place, like obviously this week in Japan, we kind of like at the end we're like butting heads a little bit just because we'll go in the same hotels, we're doing this, we share, like, so we're like seeing each other all the time, then you start to butt heads. But most of the time we're pretty okay because obviously after training in Florida, we go back to our own house and we don't see each other till the next day. So there's certain ways you can butt heads, and for us it's when we spend a lot more time with each other.
Last thing, back to the racing. Anaheim 1 is a month away. What's the thing that you need to work on between now and then? Is there something in your mind where you're like, we still need to figure out that part of the bike or that part of the track?
I just mainly want to kind of just get more laps in really now. It's kind of the bike. We're doing a little bit of testing these next on Thursday, Friday to kind of finalize some things, and then it's just more so I just want to get some more laps in, more consistent laps and motos.
Yeah, have you actually done many motos? I guess not.
I've done a few, but not a lot.